yeah, the false card you've got for your past is the Three of Wands. Okay, so before I talk about that, just looking over this whole spread, it feels quite confusing. There's a bit of harshness there. It feels like something is harsh, especially with what's in the middle and the devil. So there's a harshness to this. There's a bit of anger. It feels like I might actually end up saying something a bit harsh. So just preparing you, with all that. Yeah, it feels like you've been through a lot of this confusion, actually. You've kind of come out of the other end of this. You've disentangled yourself. You're really tangled up with someone and you've gotten out of that. Very, very confused. It feels like someone really confused you and you're away from all that now. You're away from all that now. Yeah, definitely an axe. You're really, really far away from them. You don't want to go anywhere near them again. I'm getting that really clearly, especially if that's them coming up as a devil. It might not be. I'm just seeing that there in the corner of my eye there. So, yeah, you still think about this ex, I think. Not that you want them back. I'm not getting that. But there's a lot of confusion. I keep on getting all this confusion here. And there are some things you still don't know about them. Or there are some things you still don't know why they happened or why they said things or did things or why they didn't do things. It's like, I really felt that at times they really showed me that they really cared. And I know they did. I know they loved me. I know they did. But then at other times, the opposite happened. And I just don't know which is right, what's true, which bit's true. And I think with this person, what I'm picking up from them is they're quite... Firstly, I'm getting a lot of things being hidden. So they like to hide things. And not just from you, from different people. I'm actually getting a few different people they might have been involved with. Playing people off each other. Lots of confusing things going on there. I have to be honest here, I really don't think you're going to get all the answers you want. You can try asking them, which I don't think you'll do. I'm getting the feeling that you don't want to ask them anything or talk to them. But I think, no matter how hard you try, I don't think you're going to get a lot of those answers, sorted out in your head. So, and it doesn't matter. And I think in time, when you've totally moved away from this, in your head and in your heart, you're going to realise that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whether I know or not. I'm away from this now. I can get on with things. It doesn't matter. So, okay. So with this Three of Wands, yeah, I'm getting lots and lots and lots of promises here. It feels like this ex promised you a lot of different things. And look at this card. He's waiting. So you waited and you waited for these things to come and they didn't come. And yeah, there are a lot of things that were promised, a lot of things. Not things, not actual material things, but it was more like, oh, we're going to do this, and oh, I'm going to do this with you, and oh, it's amazing. I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share my life with you. You're so special. You're very special. All this kind of talk. And it didn't actually materialize. There were glimpses of it. There were times where you really, really, truly felt that. You really felt, yes, they did love me. I know they do. I know they do. I can feel that. And there were times where you felt amazing. But then there are really harsh contradictions here. And I think maybe that's why I was getting that word harshness. Harsh contradictions. And that's totally confusing when you're going through something like that. So yeah, lots of questions. You're still wondering. That's what I'm getting. I don't know if maybe you're talking to them online before you actually met them. It just feels like there was a time where you were talking to them or you knew them or something like that before you actually got to be with them properly, if that makes sense. And obviously, the Three of Wands, there's a distance in this card. So maybe you're long distance. It's something like that. And it feels like you didn't really know them properly at first. You thought you did. You thought you knew them. And then after a while, you got to know them a bit more and you thought it was wonderful. And then when you really got to know them, it wasn't that great. It's kind of like, okay, I know them on some level, but then when I get to spend every day with them as a couple, okay, I really know them now. That's the kind of thing I'm getting. I hope that makes sense. And yeah, there were promises. And I think after a while, when you're around them, you realised, I don't even have to ask them. I don't even have to say, are you going to do this? You promised this, you're going to do this. You knew it wasn't going to happen. You didn't even have to say anything. You knew it wasn't going to happen. They were very different from what they portrayed in the beginning. That's what I'm getting. And yet, fooling around with different people. I'm getting that awful person playing around, with this fool here, fooling around. And with this Three of Wands, there was definitely, when you get the two of these together, it's probably fooling around with some kind of third party. I don't know if you know that. I think you did know that. I think you at least suspected that there were more people around them, because that's the kind of person they were. You could sense that. And so there's a bit of a trapped feeling here as well. There was some way that you felt trapped to them. But now I think they're stuck to someone now. That they're stuck. I think they're stuck to this person who is in this third party. That's what I'm seeing. They chose someone else. This is what I'm getting. They chose this person. They're still playing around. They haven't totally chosen them. Is that a word? Chosen them. Yeah, they chose this person, even though they're still playing around. But they're not happy. They're not happy. Yeah, they're not happy. They're not happy. Yeah, they're still connected to this person. This is what I'm getting. They're still connected to them. And yeah, this is definitely someone who was around the two of you when you were in a couple. They were hanging around the two of you in this relationship, sort of waiting in the wings. That's what I'm getting with this hanged man here. You can see that, hanging around. So, and you sense that. It's like, this isn't the person I thought they were. And you were 100% right about that. Yeah, something else in this Fool. There's a shock here, actually. This is what I'm getting. I don't know if this is going to make sense or not, but it's almost like there's one part in your relationship, the first part, and that felt fine. That felt great. Actually, you felt fantastic for some of that time in your life. It's like, I feel fantastic. I even look fantastic. I feel fantastic about myself. So you felt like that for some of that time. But then things changed after time, and then there was a time where they crossed a line. That's what I mean. They crossed a line, and once they crossed that line, there was no going back for you. Absolutely no going back. And that's what you like. You give people chances, you care about them, you understand, but once they cross that line, that's it. Goodbye, the end. So I think that's kind of what happened between you. And yeah, look at this Fool again. Once the Fool jumps over the cliff, that's it. He can't come back. It's too late. He's gone over the cliff, gone over the line. That's it. That's what happened. Something feels public, actually. It's like they behave some way in public, or they showed you up in public, or they said something to you in public, I should say. And because I'm getting this, how could they make me look like this? How could they do this to me in public? It's that. That might be where they crossed a line. Or it might be several things, but they crossed a line. All I can say is I'm glad you're away from them with all this thing I'm seeing here. Hopefully I've revealed some of these questions that you're asking with that. But yeah, things are looking a lot brighter for you now. Just looking at this Fool and this freedom. So, you're moving on. You're a lot freer in a lot of ways now. I think it just takes a little bit of time for your heart to catch up with what's in your head. You don't want them back. You're moving forward. There's still hurt there. There's still anger as well, definitely with this Knight of Swords right in the middle there. But it just takes time to get through all that. That's what I'm seeing. Excuse me. So, okay, so I'll talk about the Seven of Pentacles down here now. So yeah, you've moved on, you're building things up for yourself. I'm getting that, especially financially. Look at these coins here. So you're building up your finances, you're getting your things in order, sorting out papers. I'm getting that you might literally be going through files, sorting things out, getting your money in order, banking, all that kind of thing. And yeah, it's not the most exciting thing on earth. I think when you're with this ex, it was a little bit more exciting. But I think you'd rather have order over excitement right now. You're exhausted with all that. And I don't think you could have organised this, you could have done this properly with this person still around you. Even when you're at your best with them, even when things were going well with them, they took up so much of your energy. And it felt good. It felt good. I can see that. It felt good for a lot of the time. But I think you dropped a lot of other things in your life for this person. And you didn't mean for that to happen. You didn't want for that to happen. But yeah, this feels really overpowering. Very strong, overpowering love. And you really, really struggle to concentrate on anything else. That's what I'm getting. But now that you're away from that, you can concentrate on getting your life in order now. So very, very good. Organisation, concentrating, I'm getting that really strongly. So keep on going on that track. You're on the right road now. You know, sometimes you need to move away from all that chaos in the relationship and all that. And the person, literally the person, to be able to see that you were in chaos. And so I think that's what happened. You moved away, literally, physically moved away. And after a while, you're thinking, no, actually, now that I'm away from that, I can really see what was happening now. This just was not right. Every other aspect of my life just melted away because I was concentrating on this person. And you can't be like that in love. Even if you're totally, fully in love with someone, you can't spend all your time and your energy on them, because what happens to you? You lose yourself. And so now you're away from that, you're free from all that, and you're getting your life in order. Yeah, really good. Really good to see. Okay, so the first card you've got for your present is the Seven of Cups. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I hate this. I keep on seeing this axe. I know I keep seeing them all the time. I can't help it. But, you know, you've definitely moved on. I'm getting that. There's still a little bit of a hurt there. There's anger there again. I'm getting that again. But you have moved on. Now, what I'm getting here is they're around your energy. They're still around your energy. And I hate having to say this, but this is what I'm getting, because they're coming up as the devil. I can see that really clearly now. They're coming up as the devil. Now, I'm not saying they're purely evil, but they're a bad influence on your life. When they come up in your life, you lose yourself to this really overpowering energy. It's almost like an addiction. And so you don't want them to come up in your life again. So, and I think you've recognized that. Yeah, there's a message coming to you. There's a message. It might have come to you, or you might have had messages from them already. This is from this axe. Be prepared. Be prepared for a message to come in from them. Do you know what? When I said message then, I almost said messes. And if you look at this card, it's a mess. Total mess, total confusion. They are a mess in your life. And you're sorting yourself out. You're sorting yourself out in the Seven of Pentacles. You don't want this mess back in your life. Mess and sorting out does not belong in the same place. And you know that. And I don't think you're going to be interested in them at all. But they are going to message you, or they're going to try to. And I think because there's all this confusion here, and there's all this confusion next to this as well. You can see that with the Five of Wands. They might try and message you, and they might try and confuse you into agreeing to do something. It's something like that. So really, really watch out for that. Yeah, I'm getting this. I think they've tried to message you before. Because what I'm getting is I think you're more open to talking to them at one time. Maybe it was when you first separated. And you were kind of like, well, you know, we've just separated. I'm still kind of open to talking to them. I think maybe they think you're still like that. You're still open. And maybe they think you're easily confused. But you're not. You're absolutely not. They're in for a surprise if they think that. Because you're coming up as the Knight of Swords. So there's a motorbike there. So you're coming up as the Knight of Swords. They're coming up as the devil. It's like, no, if you come anywhere near me, I've got my sword up. I'm very angry still. So they're going to be in for a surprise if they try and message you. And I think they are going to try, but yeah, you're not going to be sucked back into that. You are not going to be sucked back into that mess again. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, so the other thing with this Knight is, obviously, they really hurt you. They really hurt you. And the reason why they're able to hurt you is because you love them. And you fell for a lot of what they said, especially in the beginning. That's what I'm getting, but no more. You're not falling for this ever again. That's what I'm seeing. You're moving forward. And yeah, again, that mess doesn't belong there. This is what I'm getting. I'm getting all this progress coming from you. You're progressing, you're moving forward, organising yourself, getting yourself in order. You've changed. You're changing. They haven't changed. They haven't changed. I'm getting them playing around. I'm getting them playing people off each other. I think that's what they used to do. Yes, someone's with them. They're in some kind of relationship. And I think, again, I think it's with this third party person. But they're still playing. They're still playing. You know, the Seven of Cups can be about having lots of different love choices. You know, fantasy world, temptation, all that kind of thing. So they're still in that. They're still in that. They haven't changed. That's another thing that these cards want to tell you, just in case you are tempted. So yeah, I don't want to talk about this ex. I really don't. But you know, they just keep on coming up with all these warnings. And yeah, the one big warning I'm getting here is this message that's coming up for them. So, or for you from them, I should say. So I can see that for sure. So that's one reason why they keep on coming up. Okay, just looking at the Six of Pentacles here, down here. Yeah, there's a really clear sequence here. You know, you've got this Six of Pentacles, and then you've got the Devil next door. And I hope you haven't got the Devil next door. But this is what I'm getting. I'm getting this really, really clearly. There's some kind of karmic tie between this ex of yours and this person, this third party person. And I was seeing them hanging around for right at the start, and I think it is definitely them that they're with. Yeah, there's some kind of money tie between them and this person. So it might be that someone's borrowed some money from someone. They've got a debt to someone. I'm getting that because sometimes the devil can be that. And they're stuck to this other person. They're chained to them like the devil. You can see that. And it's because of this money. And yeah, it's definitely a relationship. So it's some kind of love connection, but they're not happy. There's not a lot of happiness there because you've got the devil and you've got this unfair money situation happening here. So there's not a lot of happiness happening between them. But they're tied to this. They're tied to this. So what this is showing me is just be very, very careful when this message comes in. There's a big warning around this. They're attached to this person, and they're going to stay attached to this person until they can sort out this money problem. So this message to you might be about sorting out this money problem. They might come to you, they might ask you to help them out. They might do this in a tricky way. They might do this in a confusing way because they keep on getting them trying to confuse you. Yeah, okay, I know this is going to sound horrible, but this is karma. And I don't normally say that. But what I'm getting here is they had you trapped. They had you trapped to them at one time, and now they're trapped and they can't get out of this. And you know, when you've got the devil, all I have to say is stay away. Don't engage with them. Don't get caught up in this conversation. Don't let them confuse you. Because I think right at the beginning, right from hello, when they message you, it's going to be confusing and all kinds of things. And again, you're not going to go back to this person. I can see that, and I'm very happy about that. But even hearing hello from them is going to get you thinking all about them again. All messed up in your head, all stressed, angry again. And you're organising your life. You're getting yourself in order. You don't want your head messed up. You don't want your head messed up. So yeah, stay away from this person. That's what I have to say very, very, very clearly. If this is you, if this all resonates with you. Okay, so the first card you've got for your future is the Five of Wands. Yeah. Mess,